I love it. I think it's beautiful.
It's absolutely gorgeous. It's what San Francisco is all about.
It brightens my day.
Brightens up the place.
Did you see them painting it?
I did not, and it happened so quick.
11 women on the 11th floor.
That is absolutely true.
Did you think you were going to wind up hanging from a platform on the 11th floor?
I did not. No, I did not imagine that.
Fear of heights is not something you can have up here.
Definitely not.
And this is a very fearless team of artists.
Yes, they really are.
It's the kind of canvas some artists only dream of. 11 stories tall and visible for miles. Neighbors say it's like the butterfly just showed up there one day, but just like a real monarch butterfly, this one actually had quite a journey.
To make a pun, I definitely had butterflies in my stomach coming in.
We met Jane Kim on the very first day of her biggest project yet.
It's called the Migrating Mural, and it highlights the monarch butterfly and its migratory path. 11
intrepid women lowered themselves down this massive white wall on a narrow, swaying platform high above the street.
When you're 100 feet up in the air, the wind, if it's just a breeze, it feels a lot more like a gust.
With the bustling city below, they carefully drew these faint grid lines.
We're measuring out 2 by 2 foot squares and then hand drawing our image.
Knowing an audience of thousands could be watching out their windows every day.
We're in the fall and we're trying to beat the weather, right? We've got winter coming.
In the wind and the fog, they worked week after week, painting the beginnings of a butterfly 50 feet tall.
1, 2, 3, down.
After a month of work, we got our first look up close.
This thing is so huge.
It's huge. Yes, when you actually get up close to it, you realize these are just big abstract shapes.
But they're shapes that were carefully planned out.
This is essentially your instruction manual for this giant mural.
Yeah, it really ends up being this gigantic paint by number that we've created.
Every color is mixed and labeled and put in these little jars.
We color code them like P1, P2, P3. That stands for Poppy 1, Poppy 2, Poppy 3.
I'm assuming the paint that you're using is not regular house paint.
It is actually.
Really?
It's exterior house paint.
Applied in 2 or 3 coats with expert precision, the vivid colors could last for 10 years here on the North Wall, which never sees direct sunlight. For the people who live and work in the Tenderloin district, it's public art that's been unfolding in full public view.
And sometimes we get the nice job or thank you, and that feels really good.
But painting something beautiful is only the beginning. You see, Kim is a scientific illustrator.
The veins and the placement of the segments and the orientation of the wings and how they overlap, those are all really important things.
In fact, you'll notice the monarch butterfly never actually lands on the California poppy.
We learned monarch butterflies do not drink nectar from poppies. Poppies don't have nectar.
Instead, it flutters past the state flower along its journey up the California coast.
I think there's been a fascination with butterflies since the Victorian era.
Alice MALIA is another artist on the project. She was drawn to its message about conservation.
Misguidedly, people were catching them and pinning them and putting them in boxes and then displaying them on their walls, and I think we've come to a place where we don't need to do that anymore.
We spoke in January as the fearless painters made their way to the sunny south wall of the building.
And stop. So here we are at the Xerxes Blue.
It has breathtaking iridescent wings.
This butterfly has about 26 different colors.
Wow.
And yet, for all its beauty, it tells a tragic story.
This butterfly is special in San Francisco because it was only found here, and it was the first butterfly to be described as going extinct due to loss of habitat and urbanization.
High on a wall in one of the city's densest concrete jungles, it's a cautionary tale.
Urbanization is not a bad thing, but it's just really a matter of how we choose to do it.
San Francisco may have learned its lesson.
You can actually see this particular tiger swallowtail from Market Street.
Careful landscaping has made an urban canyon more like a river canyon where these butterflies can flourish. Indeed, wildlife is all around if you look for it.
There's our daily crow migration starting.
Where's that?
Above us.
Oh, look at that.
That's just a handful. There's hundreds.
In fact, there may be no better place to see the intersection of nature and culture than up here above the streets.
You get to learn the sounds of the city up here.
Yeah, I always think it sounds like somebody wailing. Whoa!
As life goes on down below, the artists hope they're creating a reason to look up and maybe to think.
That, you know, we've got to protect what we've got left.